Welcome to the Unexpected Podcast, where your hosts, Lee and Amy, carry on simple conversations about everything from life experiences, the current culture, God, and everything in between. And because Lee has put Amy through years of surprises, this is her time to surprise him with unexpected topics he won't be privy to until the microphone is on and the camera is rolling. This is the Unexpected Podcast.
Hi.
Episode count 'em, 4.
4.
Welcome to episode number 4. And if you've tuned in, not turned in, don't turn in. It's not time for bed yet.
No.
If you've tuned in, we are so happy you've tuned in. And what do you think, Lee?
I'm thinking I'm missing my hat.
You are missing your hat.
I feel weird. I feel naked without my hat.
Yeah. What do you guys think? Can we do this without
no
Lee's
hat. Y'all just tell me.
Well, the thing is, do we know where the hat is?
It's somewhere. It's.
Okay.
I think it's in the living room.
Okay.
Maybe outside of my truck.
You know what? Your hair looks nice.
Thank you.
So we're going to go
I
with
just had it cut.
no hat.
No hat today.
All right. Well, if you guys have tuned in before, then you might have some idea about what we do here. We're just having simple conversations. And, you know, when we recorded episode 3, the last episode, you were coming off of some long shifts.
Yep.
And you were sleepy.
Little bit sleepy. Yep.
You were sleepy. Well, I think we've switched roles. I'm a little sleepy today.
The tide has turned.
Yeah. So, you know, I'm supposed to be presenting a topic.
Yeah. So you're supposed to
talk about
for our show, Unexpected. In case we didn't mention that, this is Unexpected. I'm Lee.
I think they've seen the intro.
This is Amy.
Yeah.
Yeah, the intro is pretty cool.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. It's great.
I like
We have
the
a great
intro.
crew. One day we're going to have to feature our crew and let you guys know all about
We'll interview them
how
at one point.
incredible they are. All right. Well, it's topic time, right?
Here we go.
And this is quite interesting because if I had to give it a name, I would have to call it No Quotes and No Notes.
Wow.
Because you know how much I like a good fact, quote, word study,
Right?
scripture.
Yeah.
I'm usually bringing something, and I couldn't land on anything. You ever had those moments?
I have blank moments
Yeah.
all the time.
Well, it's not that they were blank. It's not so much that it was blank. I had some ideas. I had some notes, but none of it just seemed to feel like the right direction.
Okay.
Whoa. So here we are. But I will tell you what I've kind of been leaning into.
Was this?
Well, you might have noticed last night. This is one of the reasons I'm a little sleepy.
I always notice you at night.
I hope so. Okay. For whatever reason, I don't know what that's supposed to mean.
I don't know.
We are married, by the way.
What does that mean?
I don't know. I don't know.
We'll talk about that later.
I don't know where we're going.
Okay.
But
I don't either.
You
Ain't got a
might
clue.
have noticed last night that I was up a little late. For whatever reason,
Mm-hmm.
I was feeling really nostalgic.
Oh, is that why you were going through all those boxes?
Yes. So
Okay.
I was pulling out boxes. I was looking for some pictures. Actually, a Facebook friend had posted like one of those childhood, class pictures. And it just made me want to find all my childhood, like, class pictures. Yeah. We found a lot of stuff, but I didn't find what I was looking for. But that might be a weekend
But I
project.
still haven't found what I'm looking for.
If you're going to sing, just sing.
Oh, no, go for it.
You want to yodel?
No, not right now.
All right. Well, that's coming later. We're going to have the yodeling episode.
Ooh, yodel, yodel, yodel.
Perhaps. Because Lee yodels. But you guys would have to tune in another time to hear the yodel. But anyway, I was just, and then I just kind of was thinking today, like, why did I have that drive? I don't usually have that drive,
Yeah.
that feeling of nostalgia. And I don't know. I don't have any definitive.
Yeah, I'm usually the sentimental one.
Yeah.
I'm usually the one, more mental than sentimental, I always say. But I'm usually the one that loves nostalgic things.
Yeah.
I like old things that I had in my room when I was like a kid.
Yeah.
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 So I'm still kind of attached to, certain Disney characters. But we won't go there either.
That's okay. That's okay. Anyway, so I didn't find those pictures, but I will find them later. But what are you doing? This is not planned.
We found these.
Although this box is...
There's one.
Oh, my goodness. Okay. We started pulling down boxes.
There's two.
Okay.
Right there.
This is probably making a loud noise. Let's put the trophies away.
There's three. Yeah. Yeah. Do we have more?
No.
Yeah, we got more. And what? Wait a minute, there's another one. Yeah. So let's just put that right there. Oh, look, there's another one.
Okay. Is this going someplace?
Well, I mean, you're like the super duper person. I've got a box that's like got about 30 trophies. I can't really fill them in up on here. I mean, you even stole your sister's trophy.
Yeah, that was an accident.
Yeah,
but
sorry,
I did
Dana.
let her know. I did let her know that we somehow accidentally ended up...
Got her cheerleader. So you notice, that Amy has one of those too. And she stole her sister's. And she has more basketball ones than others. So she's talking about being nostalgic. Here we go.
Well, this is how this box ended up, and we hadn't put it away yet. And you snuck it over.
Yeah. Well, you want me to put these away?
Yeah,
I can
please.
put these away. You continue. I'll put these away.
Please. Okay.
I could bring out all 30.
No.
No?
No. Okay. All right. You know how to really throw me off and embarrass me.
Unexpected.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting that at all. All right. Okay. I have been joking, because here's the thing. You have all this stuff. Now, what are we going to do with this? Because I'm sure our sons aren't going to want all these, And
Lady Aces.
I've been joking. Yeah, that's the Owensboro Catholic Lady Aces. I've been joking that we could I don't know, do some target practice and line these up outside because what are they going to do? This is not where I was intending to go at all, but this raises a very interesting question about stuff. What do you do with stuff,
Good point.
And on a more serious note, I've lost my parents within the last couple of years, and, and they weren't, by any means, they weren't hoarders.
Very neat.
Yeah, they were always very neat, organized. But you know what? Even the neatest of people can have a lot of stuff.
Oh, yes.
And so, it just got me thinking about whoa, what are we going to do with all the stuff? Do we make sure we don't leave our sons with a bunch of stuff to have to go through?
It depends on if they want it or not.
Or do we just leave it for them?
So, Luke, do you want a bunch of trophies? He probably wants some of them.
Okay. Well, I mean...
He's a little nostalgic like me, a little bit.
Things come back around, too, the things that people are interested in.
Right.
Like what we found, right now, it's like antique furniture doesn't hold the value that it once did. But there's going to come a time, I think, when it'll come all back around and people will want old stuff again from a certain era. Anyway, okay,
Let's move along. Let's move along. Let's
move along.
Right. Anyway,
that was
nostalgic. Hey, unexpected. You never know what you're going to get with us.
Okay, all right. He does tease me about all that, but I joke and say, my glory days are way past me. But
oh no,
I'm joking.
No.
I'm joking.
I'm the ultimate trophy.
Ooh. Okay, all right.
She's blushing.
Well, yeah. Since we're feeling nostalgic, or you're always nostalgic, I'm feeling nostalgic.
Right.
It started kind of stirring in me that, I think sometimes we have this longing for a simpler time. Mm-hmm. And maybe it's a longing for the innocence of childhood. And I'm not somebody who ever thinks or I try not to say this statement oh, I wish we could get back to the days when blah, blah, blah. because I don't think going backwards is where we need to go.
No.
But I do think there is a part in us that does long for, maybe that time when we were kids.
It was simpler.
It was simple, and we hadn't had time to get bitter yet.
Right. Not bitter about society, about what people have done, people are going to do. I think there's a biblical principle that you have to remember, and that is, you forget those things which are behind and press towards the mark of high calling in Christ. I get that. You have to move forward. You have to move on. But there are certain mile markers in your life that you have to pay attention to. There are remembrance stones. They made monuments. They made memorials of a time when God did something. When they came over from the Red Sea, after crossing the Red Sea, they had a party and all this stuff happened and all that. But they built a memorial to memorialize that moment and say, look what God has done in our life. I think those are important to look back on to help us go forward in life.
Right.
I think that's very important. Having some sort of, sentimental feeling of, a nostalgic feeling, that's not all the time bad.
Right.
Sometimes it teaches you in the moment that you're in to be able to move forward in life.
Yeah. I think it could be a good reset too. And also, I just felt some gratitude, I thought back to my little classmates when we were all kids, and I had some good memories there, I think no matter what people go through, you have the good memories and the hard memories. And so I think there does come a time, and I think that's a sign that we are healing as well, because as you and I know, our journey has been a journey of coming to surrender our lives to Christ.
Right.
And then receiving what he has to give us. And there's been a lot of healing that's had to take place and that continues to take place. But I think that a good sign that you're on the road to healing is when you look back at the past and you feel more warm memories than painful memories. If at one time you felt, it could be that one time you felt more painful memories about a certain era of your life, a certain time period. But then when you can look back and maybe you don't feel that pain like you once did, that's a sign that you're receiving healing in your soul.
Yeah.
And being renewed.
Do you have any specific, you don't have to go into detail, but any specific good memory that just gives you peace nowadays? Anything that comes to mind? Anything at all?
Well, I mean, just the simplicity of like being out in the old neighborhood we lived in at one time up until I was about 6 years old. And just, I can still like smell the freshly mown grass. Isn't that strange? Yeah. I don't remember the smell so much of like the grass later on in life. I mean, obviously I know what freshly mown grass smells like, but there's like this, I can still remember like just being out playing, the sun's going down, I've got to go in soon, but just this, I don't know, just the richness of those moments.
I think the funnest thing that I had an uncle and an aunt that, my uncle, he always had wild ideas, I guess. So, somebody said something about doing an in-ground pool. So he went to the dollar store and bought one of those blue pools and dug a hole, stuck it in it, and let his kids play in an in-ground pool.
So was there already a hole there? Or
no, he dug it out. He dug it out and stuck it by hand. By hand. And
how deep?
Just enough for that blue pool that you get from like the dollar store.
Oh, okay.
So we had an in-ground pool. It's redneck.
Yeah.
It's all good.
That's good.
That's how I grew up.
Yeah.
But it got full of mud and ended up being a big mud pit.
Probably didn't take long.
But it was fun. And I think that was the time he shaved all of our heads. But that was interesting at that point. But I just remember that.
Yeah.
I wasn't probably 5, 6 years old.
Yeah.
But it was fun.
Yeah.
We got muddy.
Right.
I mean, it was like we playing in a mud pit.
Right.
But we had an in-ground pool of mud.
Sounds fun.
Whatever works.
And another thing that just popped into my head is like the sound of the ice cream truck. Although I know there's these stereotypes about like the creepy ice cream man, perhaps. But I just remember being excited, like the ice cream truck is coming through the neighborhood and I'm going to get one of those little, I don't know, some kind of cone with like grape icy stuff and then like a piece of bubble gum at the bottom. Did you ever have those?
I don't know if we ever got those, but I remember the push-ups, the orange push-ups.
Yeah.
They always would come to the apartment complex that I lived in with my mother, and that was always fun.
Yeah.
Being able to get that.
Yeah. What about you guys? Listen, we're doing this podcast where we talk about all kinds of things. We want to hear from you. So please drop comments.
Drop a comment, send
drop
an
comments
email.
below. Yep.
You know,
Yeah, we're going to share email information in the description. But also, if you're watching this on YouTube, just drop your comments right there, and we'll get back to you. We want to hear what you guys have to say. So if you have a favorite childhood memory, let us know.
Yeah.
All right. Well, again, going back to what I said earlier about this kind of desire for innocence, maybe it's also a drive just to return to childlike faith.
Right.
And I know we've talked about faith on this podcast already, because it's such an important topic in our lives. And we always say there's a difference between being childish, where you're kind of pouty, selfish, and being childlike. I think the way that God calls us to, because there's peace in being childlike.
It is.
You're pretty childlike.
I am pretty childlike. I am not childish, I don't think. I mean, I do get a little upset sometimes on certain things and certain attributes of life. But I do feel like I am childlike. I like to have fun. I don't like to take myself too seriously. I used to take myself way too seriously. Now I have to struggle with taking myself not seriously.
Yeah.
Did I say
not
that
taking
right?
myself seriously enough.
Yeah, it's not taking myself seriously enough. So, I like goofing off. I like to talk about funny things. I like to, laugh with friends and just be,
If we didn't, What's the
meaning? What's the meaning of life if you don't have fun? Kind of like our kids.
Yeah, our crew over there is having a good old time
over there dancing. I don't know why they're dancing.
They're doing a good job of containing their laughter.
They must think that we're a lot of fun, so they're dancing and moving around.
Or do they think we're not much fun, so they're bringing their fun?
It could be.
They're bringing the fun.
Could be.
Well, another thing I was thinking about when you're a child, you might get upset easily, but then you get over it quickly. Mm-hmm. But when you're an adult, it's so easy to get offended, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. So I'm offended because people get offended. I'm offended that you're offended that I'm offended. It's just like this offense thing that everybody's got going on right now. If they were truly offended, I'm sorry. But there is some people that just get offended just for the sake of being offended.
Yeah.
And I don't want to be that person. If you do me wrong, that's it's on you. That's bad.
If they do you wrong, you think you're justified then? No, I'm kidding.
No.
No.
And
that, to me, this is one thing that I've had to learn, is that if I become offended, it's either number one, I was done wrong, or number two, I thought I was done wrong, but maybe whatever happened wasn't intentional.
Right.
But either way, and I like what the Bible says about, I think Jesus said, it's impossible for you to not be offended,
Right.
or not have those opportunities to become offended. What does it say? It is impossible that offenses will not come. And the Greek word for offense is scandalon, which means a trap or a snare.
Right.
And so that's where the enemy tries to ensnare us with those offenses we get in our heart. And look, I'm still a work in progress. Sometimes, this is fun. I was laughing at myself the other day because this little trick that I try to do, rather than be offended, I get sarcastic, which I think is probably just as bad. Like, towards drivers who I'm like, it's okay, honey, if you haven't quite learned how to drive. This is going on in my head, when I'm going to work. Really, I'm probably just offended. So, I had to repent about that too. And
it's the one on the right. Speed up. I can't help myself. I have to try to. You keep me in check a lot, and I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we all have
patient issues with driving
points.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, for some people, I don't know. I was with an older gentleman who was a coworker at one time, and he He had just the sweetest spirit. And there's a group of us going on a trip, and not a trip, but like just to 45 minutes away to some meeting. And I've never seen someone just so joyful and patient, no matter what anybody else was doing in the vehicles all around us. I thought, wow, that's a gift. But
It is a gift.
we're still working on trying to get to that place.
Traffic still gets me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess, did God create that so that we could get sanctified and humbled and purified?
God sent traffic to make us humble. That's our new motto.
that a t-shirt?
Yeah, it's a t-shirt.
Well, it's working because we're having to learn that.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll wrap it up here in a little bit, but let me ask you this, because I know we're a little into the new year, and I don't even know exactly when this episode will drop or drop. Isn't that the cool term?
Drop. That's a cool term.
Was this going to drop?
Yeah.
But
it's about to drop.
Either way, we're still well into a new year. So let me ask you, what kind of things do you feel like the Lord is saying or teaching you in this season? It's a new year, so we get a new start. Yeah.
Don't get comfortable in the position that you're in. That's what I feel like I'm going to be learning this year is just be content where you're at, but don't get comfortable where you're at, because God may move you somewhere else. Yeah. But if you stay where you're at, be content. And I think that's where I'm headed. I'm not really sure what God has in store for everybody, but for me, I feel like I'm just going to have to learn how to just be. Learning how to be, and just not just survive or anything, but thrive in just being. Understanding God's love, understanding His ways of peace, joy, love, happiness, and just listening for the voice of God. Yeah. I think that's where I'm at this year. I'm having a little bit of a moment with being alone when you guys are at work. The boys have gone to work, you've gone to work. I'm at home, 7 days at a time, and because I'm not working.
Well, explain, because you work.
I work a swing kind of shift thing. But when I'm at home, I'm feeling like I want to do something, and then there's nobody to do anything with, so I feel lonely.
Yeah,
and being content where I'm at.
That's the season that we're in, because you're gone at weird hours, and then I feel a little bit lonely.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I love what you said. It ties together. You talked about being content, but then also being ready for whatever God has. And I think it is those moments when we become content in a season. It's like it's almost like we go through these tests of the Lord is saying, all right, when you're going to learn to just be content. And then the moment you do, He's like, okay, now I've got something exciting for you, or it's time to move on.
It's about being appreciative of what you have in front of you. If you don't appreciate what you have, then it's very hard for God to give you what He wants to give you, because you're not thankful for what you have at the moment. So thankful people, the meek shall inherit the earth, right?
Yeah.
So this whole thing of I got to go get mine, I got to get mine. It's good to have drive, but it's not good to mow people down and be a jerk. And I see people like that. It's like, I'm going to step on you to get to here, to get to here, to get to here, to get to here. And all you have to do is learn how to be.
Yeah.
Learn how to just be calm, be, subtle and easy.
We're not taking any of this stuff with us, are we?
No, it's just
into
stuff.
Eternity.
Just remember, everybody.
Especially the trophies.
Okay, yeah. All of this, to reiterate, what we talked about earlier, everything, all material things, it's just stuff. You can't take it with you. So you got to be able to leave something that's of worth to people around you. What kind of attitude you have? What did you do to help them move forward? A selfless person is loved more than a selfish person. I'm sorry, but that's the truth. And if you are selfless and you give up, then a lot of times you get more. It's the craziest thing.
But then balancing that out with not being a doormat. But
balance it out
it's a lot. Yeah,
right.
But
you don't have to bow down to everybody that comes along. You don't even have to bow down to anybody. I bow down to one. But what I mean by that is you're able to just learn how to deal with people in a way that is growth. It gives them growth, gives you growth. There's a way that we can all grow together, and it's through selflessness. That's a hard one for me and for a lot of people, being selfless.
It's very difficult.
Yeah, giving up what you want for somebody else to do something.
And it takes letting go of fear, because a lot of times we are selfish. I'm selfish because I'm afraid of something I might lose, or I'm afraid that I might be robbed of something or treated unfairly, or and so I think that's one of the things that well, in fact, for some reason I have my journal sitting here because I thought I might need to refer to it. But that's something I think I wrote in my journal just a few days ago, with just more of a prayer, asking the Lord just for a greater grace to be free from fear.
Yep. And I mean, the Word of God talks about seek first the kingdom of heaven and all of His righteousness, and all of these things will be added unto you. But there's a thing, we got to seek first the kingdom. And what is the kingdom? The kingdom is selflessness. The kingdom is loving others more than you love yourself. The kingdom is love God, love people. The kingdom is going out into the highways and byways and compelling people to come in.
It's walking in all the principles that Jesus walked in while He was on the earth.
So, all right. So listen, sum it up. Sum it up. What did we learn here? Anything?
Whew, I don't know if I can do a sum up because I'm sleep deprived, like
Good
you
point.
were last week. No, but I do want to. I want to say this. Again, we want to hear from you guys. What do you feel like the Lord's saying to you in this season? Are there things that you're learning? And listen, we invite and hope that people from all walks of life will watch our podcast or listen to our podcast. And so you may say, I don't know. I don't go for all that following Jesus stuff. We're all in a different part of our journey. We still want to hear from you. What are you learning in this season?
Like us? Don't like us?
Yeah.
Didn't I write a song? If you got a problem with me, if you got a problem with me, it's still your problem.
Yeah. We still haven't recorded that. But
no, we didn't do that. I think y'all. So I know some people feel like that. I know I do sometimes. If you got a problem with me, it's still your problem. I ain't gonna.
That's true.
Yeah,
that's true. All right. Well, if you got a problem with us, kidding.
Just kidding. We want to live on a positive note.
Yeah, on a positive note, we want to say we hope to see you guys next time.
Yep.
And have a very, very peaceful and restful and blessed rest of your day.
Yep. We're Unexpected with Amy and Lee. Have a great one. Bye. Bye.
Oh, well, okay. Don't forget to like this video and please subscribe to our channel. Drop your comments below. We'd love to hear from you. If you prefer audio podcasts, please follow us on your favorite streaming platform.